Hello, welcome to Live a Juicy Life. I'm your host, Lilou Mace, and today I have an amazing genius here with us. His name is Jeremy Gershfield. He's the founder and creator of the Quartet Approach. So, Jeremy, tell me, what is a quartet?
A string quartet are four musicians, two violinists, with the first violin, second violin, viola, and cello, and we play in an ensemble together.
How can we learn from a quartet?
Well, the thing about a string quartet, when you're just watching them play as an aesthetic idiom, is that the composers wrote for each individual part has a very large percentage of the music that's going in. So each has, say, 25% of the music. When you have a very big group, every different person has a much smaller part, and you have, groups, you can get lost in the whole ocean of the symphony. With a quartet, each person is participating a strong amount, and so each person counts towards the whole a whole lot.
So, what are the main problems that your clients are facing when they're approaching you?
Many of my clients face the problem of silos, where each group, whether it's different teams, have a difficulty in talking or communicating with the other teams, whether it's that their technical language is different or their cultures are different. So they're not able to get together and understand how each part works together so that barriers can be broken down. Another are that sometimes people in teams have personal problems that get in the way of the group, and they're all trying to do their best, but they can't see how they fit together.
So, why did you choose this analogy?
Why is it in business all of a sudden businesses see a string quartet playing together, and how does this help them work together better in terms of their teams? That is interesting, and to someone who's never heard that before, it's maybe a little bit far-fetched. Interestingly, the string quartet has very similar problems that people in business have. We have to work on deadlines. We have to put together very complex issues together and work together to have a unified front where the effort must be larger than our individual purposes. And the personalities are just the same as in business. In a string quartet, we are absolutely judged together on a stage. When businesses come and see us play together, we engage with the business people about the music. Well, what did you hear about this music? What did you see about these players together? It takes them out of their own business lives and their own troubles and their own issues, and they become fully engaged in what the musicians are doing. I facilitate this session so that it's almost seamless and people come up with these ideas spontaneously. Wow, this quartet and the problems that they're facing and how they solve their problems is exactly how we need to solve our problems in business every time. And when that eureka moment happens, people get it. They get it from themselves. I'm not telling them any of this. And there's this buy-in that is like nothing else. We bring our performance to the corporate and the organizations. Whether it's a remote place, whether they're having a retreat, or there's a conference room near where the businesses are held. What happens is the quartet plays, we work through problems. Sometimes I have the people who are participating in the session, the business people, close their eyes. We work on how we listen to each other. And so we watch the quartet, the group watches the quartet and sits among the quartet, play a section of the music so that it is, everybody plays their part the best they can. And we're watching, and I say, well, what did you hear this person do, or what did you hear the group do? And people answer as if, oh, well, they did this or this, it sounded pretty good. And I say, close your eyes and listen again. And what happens is that people start drawing the musicians and how the quartet relates to each other in through their ears. And they start really paying attention without distraction from what they see. And then we have different variations in how we play. We play to the best of our abilities, and then we play to the best of our abilities when that means paying attention to each other and how we fit together. And I take them through this whole process where they're watching, sometimes not watching, only listening, and challenging their senses. And it's so stimulating to their creative ideas about how to work together They come up with amazing solutions they would have never had come up with if they were focused only or solely on their business problems. As far as I see it, companies never come to me and say, we have these problems.
Mm-hmm.
Most people want to say, we want to get that competitive edge to be better than the next business.
Okay.
It's a subtle difference between people performing their best, just everybody working as hard as they can in their business, and people really understanding how to get the whole to be better than the sum of just the best people's parts. And being aware and listening to each other. It may be obvious and maybe think, well, I learned that in kindergarten kind of thing, but there are very subtle and very important differences that happen when you really pay attention in this new way. And when people get it, it changes everything for them.
So what is the process of the quartet approach?
If someone is interested in engaging with the quartet approach, we talk, and we meet ahead of time, and I set, like with my students who come to me for violin and viola, students for chamber music that I coach, we do a diagnosis with some of the leading research theories in the field about what teamwork is, or in organizational theories about what kind of issues the organization wants to work on. When it's whether it's a questionnaire or we talk and have much dialogue about this, when it's determined whether they want to work on teamwork or they want to work on just high performance output or innovation. Those are typically two of the more popular issues. We set a date, and we have, say, 30 of the people that they want to participate in the session, up to, say, 100 people. And we set it up differently if it's 100 people than if it's 30, where it's more intimate.
Mm-hmm.
And we find a suitable room, and we seat people in and around the group. And we play. The musicians play a piece. And then we play different scenarios and different versions of how we would approach the music. And I involve, it's a facilitation. I involve everyone participating in this session. Sometimes it's a little scary to them because I ask them questions. But nobody's ever been embarrassed and only really been stimulated to have productive thoughts. And we're working together, so it's not a question and answer, coming up with ideas about how to make the quartet group and how to feel and hear how the quartet can be better. And it's a completely natural transition for how the organizations decide how they want to be better.
So how long does this process take?
When the Quartet Approach session happens, it's typically 90 minutes.
Follow-ups?
I can follow up, but prior to the session, we have a lot of interaction about what the session is, about how much customization to the topics that the organization wants to work on. A lot of solutions happen. It's amazing, and it's the organization. I lead the organization and a facilitation, but when the organization themselves comes up with these steps, that I sort of lead them through these exercises, the buy-in is so much greater, and the excitement is palpable. You feel it in the room. People are emotional at the end of these sessions.